Welcome to Warrior Class.
With the teachers whip ass.
And you
And
will
you
too.
will too if you pass.
You pass. Now, this is the Happy Holidays episode. We put the question mark because everybody doesn't celebrate holidays during this time. I happen to be one of them, but I wish you happy holidays. If
Everybody ain't that happy either.
everybody ain't happy. In fact, this season has the highest rate of suicides.
It does, definitely.
Because people are alone, and I always say loneliness is an MF. It'll make you make mistakes, and suicide. I don't always say it's an act of cowardice or anything like that. Now, I don't say it's an act of revolution either, but I do say it's a mistake.
Definitely.
And the reason why I say that is because it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yeah, well.
People say, well, what if, on the slave ships when they jumped off? And what about that? Look, if I'm gonna take the chance of dying anyway, I'm gonna be killing my enslavers, trying my best to.
Right, on the way down. I'm taking them and didn't jump off.
Right. If I'm gonna die anyway, shit, I might as well go for broke.
Welcome, Craig Barter.
Well, Craig's been here. I don't know what happened. I guess, I do know what happened. So what happens a lot of times, you pay for a membership, right? And then you ain't got the money or whatever, or you just forget to, keep paying through your car, you change cards, what have you. And so when you say, oh, oops, you pay again, and then it says you're a new member.
It happened to me all the time.
Yeah, me too. It said like twice up here, welcome new member Balagoon. I'm like, hey, actually I have a show here. But forget to pay or forget to put money on my Cash App card, because that's what I paid through for this. Right. And
on what you were saying though, Bobby, it is important, man. Depression during the holidays, man, and the thing is, we kind of talked about depression before, it being what's the correct term? Is it epicidal? Is that how they say it?
What you mean?
When they say that, depression comes in episodes, basically.
Yeah.
You can be depressed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I say that because it could be the person that's smiling in your face that's really going through it right now. So one thing is for sure, if you lost a parent, it don't even have to be that recent, but if you lost your parents and stuff like that, you're not regular. And even if you see somebody behaving what we would call regular, just know that they're not regular. They're not okay. They're okay. They may be fine, but they're dealing with something.
And shout out to it's a warrior out there. I won't say his name. He may not want his name said, but he's a fellow martial artist, African martial artist. His father died, transitioned about 2 weeks ago, I think, and then his brother just transitioned yesterday.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
So stay strong, brother, and he has a good support system, luckily, because that kind of stuff could drive you to certain thoughts. But I'm sure this person won't go there, but you don't never know. So I'm shout out to you and stay strong.
Definitely, and I want to encourage the person who may be experiencing this. We usually talk to everybody else and say check on the person and check on, make sure you're fit. But if a person that is going through any type of depression right now is listening, or is able to sit to hear this, I would encourage you to definitely to fight, to hold on, and what everybody else would tell you, but to seek out somebody to speak to. You may not have that support system that Bob was just speaking on. You may have to create it for yourself. You may have to say, okay, well, I know this brother right here. You may have to go to somebody that don't know you. I've done it before. You know what I'm saying? So, whatever it takes to make yourself better. It's about you. So if you can't deal with, if you're going through it and you just can't deal with the whatever it is for your sanity, don't deal with it. If you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? If it's for your sanity. So these times can put a lot of fake pressure on people. It's artificial pressure to produce in certain situations and provide things that don't really mean anything to people who
Right.
won't even remember the gifts 2 years from now, especially the children. I don't remember nothing given to me from nobody before I was 15 years old that wasn't big enough for me to ride or shoot. I don't remember. I hope you ain't watching. Be like, doggone, I bought you that little thing with the to do the little thing. I don't remember that. But you do remember how people make you feel, though. That's the true thing.
Yes.
So that's
Now, I will give a gift during this time. Just a well-known teacher of intelligence gave a simple test where you could tell whether you're not so intelligent, highly intelligent, genius. So all you have to do is say red blood, bad blood. If you could say that 2 times or more in succession, you're okay. If you could say it 5 times fast, you're intelligent. If you could say it 7 times, you're highly intelligent. You can say it 9 times, you're a genius. It's just good blood, bad blood.
Everybody's going to do this right now.
So try to say good blood, bad blood, and see how many times you can say it before you stumble.
Good blood, bad blood. I just stumbled already. Bad blood. I'm not okay. All right, y'all. Okay, I'm not all right. I didn't want y'all to know. You can't hide from the test. Goddamn, I'm freezing out here right now.
Check on your boats.
Dang.
Good blood, bad blood.
I'm nervous in front of the camera. That's what it is, y'all. It's
I see, yeah. So, people right now are saying it like, oh shit, I messed up.
Look, I got tooth issues. I'm on medication. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, y'all.
Oh God. No,
right,
I'm just messing with y'all. That's a warm up when you act so your tongue to loosen your tongue up. So it's good blood, bad blood. Most people can't go twice. I used to be able to, now they pull my teeth as hard, but I used to be able to do it. Me and the wife were doing it in our acting class, right? And people were getting blown away like, the hell? Everybody else, good blood, bad blood, blah, 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 blah. They couldn't get it.
Good blood, bad blood. Good blood, bad blood. Good blood. Well, I got 2 out. Let's roll.
Right. Most people, the most they're going to get is 2, and then they're going to start just stumbling.
I'm going to try this later when I'm at a serious, calm, peaceful nature. I'm going to see if I can do. Right now, it's too much pressure on me.
Now, I like to see somebody like a Denzel or somebody, see if they can.
He probably just rolled it off and by laughing.
And they his mouth going.
With his little smirk and everything, like it ain't nothing.
Yeah. Walking with that cool, hard walk as he doing it.
Y'all said don't say it in front of the mirror.
Oh, you really gonna be jacked up then. That would be hilarious.
Yeah. I hear you, Nathaniel Turner. He says, I lost a lot of people and it hurts. I'll be damned if I don't try it. I found some really good stuff inside me. Just amazing stuff. Keeping on forward. That's what's up, man.
All right, Nathaniel.
Jaborian said, damn, I'm a genius.
Well, oh, he must have. You did it 9 times?
Don't let us tell you ain't there. Don't let us tell you not.
Damn.
Yes, sir.
You should be acting. Yeah, I'm deadly serious.
Yeah, hey, you definitely should. Or you should be speeching.
Yeah, public speaker or something.
You should be doing something, brother. You got it. All right. So I'm glad y'all all in here, man. I hope everybody's staying warm. I think it's definitely a good message over these, for these holidays to really do check on your people seriously. I said it last show. This is a hard time also for people that's incarcerated. And I know some of the people that's incarcerated, you like, well, I ain't calling my cousin. And hey, if it's one of those situations, I ain't mad at you. I can't tell you what to do. I will tell you, as a person who has had people who have been incarcerated during the holidays as a person who has been
I
incarcerated
was
during the
incarcerated during
holidays.
the holidays. Yeah,
I'm
so
not going in front on you. And I don't even celebrate the holidays. So me like out right now, like people doing Christmas and having and the commercials where everybody's loving and like that doesn't bother me. I don't have any feeling. I've never celebrated Christmas, so I have no feelings towards not getting a gift, giving none of that stuff. I have no feelings. But being incarcerated, it would just Thanksgiving. I don't even do that Thanksgiving. I never did anything. But being inside the motherfucking walls, oh my goodness. I was drinking and I didn't smoke. I was too scared to try to smoke weed in there, but I smoked cigarettes in there because they give you a buzz too. Man, I'm drinking that what they call buck. Oh my God, it's so nasty. It's so nasty. Make you say ah every time you take a sip. That's what I had to do to drink. I'm not drinking that ah, but boy, it worked. But I did that, and it's funny because I was trying to keep my system clean, and I was saying I'm gonna be with. Man, I had to drink and everything because I was so depressed of being inside, not being able to, and that was only 4-5 months of being incarcerated. I was very, very depressed.
now I tell you, people when I was locked up, brothers used to smoke bananas.
Yeah.
That's very dangerous, y'all. That's toxic. Well,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff we smoke out here is toxic too. That's toxic. But
people roll their weed up in banana leaves.
Get you high like a mud. Now,
Jamaican things.
Now I was locked up, and during the Christmas time.
Whoa, Bob. How you know how high the banana leaves get you?
I saw the fools getting it.
Oh, okay. I'm just
so during I was locked up, and it was Christmas time, man, and nobody would talk, but everybody. Now I was all right, but everybody stayed in their cells. I noticed that there was nobody out in the day room. None of that.
Right.
So people going through it. When I got out, it was the day before. Let me see. Yeah, it was the day before New Year's Eve, because the next day we had this big Ifa celebration, and so I was able to make it. Which I really didn't want to go, but I went just to be around folks.
Right.
But even then, it wasn't the same as before. I always expecting somebody to ask me about my experience, and I really didn't want to talk about it. It didn't happen. I guess they had discussion before. We won't talk about, but I was just expecting it, but it didn't happen. So it was cool. It was cool to be around people. I could have been cool just sitting there, not saying nothing, and just being around people. So yeah, check on your folks, and especially, not especially, but your incarcerated folks are going through it.
It's somber in prison right now. Trust me, it's somber.
Oh yeah,
in prison right. I know you be seeing all them TikToks. Look, them folks.
Another shout out, man, to a friend of mine. I won't say his name either. He's an artist, good friend of mine, man. He went to check on his mother.
Yes,
and she was gone. She was gone, and he said she left here from natural causes, but it looked like a movie murder scene.
Wait, I didn't know that.
Not the one we know from New York.
Oh, okay. Whoa. I was.
No. Not the one from New York. I'd have been talked to you about that one. No.
Okay. All right.
He lives in D.C., I believe, D.C. or Maryland.
Okay, you right on time for 40 J Blaze.
But I was like, damn, so.
Yeah, man, damn. Heart goes out to him.
So it's affecting him, and he said, he's going to need therapy for a long while after.
Man, I'm sure.
I pray for his peace of mind.
Yes, and while we at it, we talked about our mind state, checking on people. If you're the person that needs something, reach out, and also last on that list, which should be first, is your elders. Check on your elders, man. It's especially sad sometimes it can be sad and a struggle for our elders. And one of those reasons, you know, just me talking to my mom now, you know, her getting up in age in her 70s, you know, almost all her friends are dead. You know, almost all her siblings are dead. Her parents are dead. You know, so when you think about elders, a lot of times, I'm real quick, let me go back to that prison thing because this connects. You know how you see those TikToks of dudes in prison and they smiling and they doing all kind of stuff, and y'all be like, man, prison ain't even bad. Do y'all realize they are acting for the freaking cameras?
Right.
Like, you gotta understand, they're not gonna show you. It's like motherfuckers with their chest poked out. I'm not gonna show you I'm scared of you. I'm in prison. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be tough. I'm not gonna show you this shit is affecting my mind. I cry every night when I go to sleep. Nobody don't know that shit because that's what happens. I'm not putting my word on what I heard. I'm telling you. Motherfuckers is in there crying. What they showing you is a front. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm on fire, man. This ain't nothing. That's the same thing we all do. The same thing your elders do. When you get on the phone and you call them, they'll smile. Oh, baby, it's so to hear your voice. It feels so. Yeah. And I'm not saying that all of them are doing that. I'm saying just know that that's what happens a lot of times. So, you know, even if you hear them in good spirits, don't take that as a sign that they are good. You know, do your due diligence. That's all I just want to put that out there. You know, we go with the spirit on the show sometimes, so somebody need to hear that. It might be us, might be saying it for ourselves, but it needs to be said definitely.
Yes. All right. Peace, everybody. 40J Blaze, Big Till, Sugar Booger. Good to see everybody. And this will be the final show for the year.
Yes.
Right at the end. We'll be back January 6th, something like that. Whatever that Saturday is. I don't think it's I think the first Saturday is like New Year's or something. We'll be back the next one.
Right.
I think it's 31st actually of December. Then with the
New Year's, is New Year's Eve is Saturday.
Right. So we'll be back that following Saturday.
Yeah, we're gonna all get drunk and party on New Year's Eve, y'all. So we
I would. You wouldn't want to see us.
No. Friday night, Saturday.
Yeah. and speaking of that, shoot, we should have, but you know, my wife's pregnant now, so we're not gonna do it. I was gonna say, you know, the warrior ancestors party.
Yeah, but yeah.
That was dope, but everybody got tore up too after.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. I like it. That was good. Yeah, we get it.
So at that event, you know, we all spoke on a specific. We taught on a specific warrior, each person. And so, you know, we taught on that, and everybody had, you know, little sips during that time. And after that, we were eating and drinking. It was on and popping then.
Yeah.
We had a whole long table of. It was funny. We had I think a 6-foot table for food, and we had 2 4-foot tables. That's 8 feet of alcohol.
I believe this year, if y'all go one prayer, we'd be rolling. Somebody been rolling this year. We've been rolling because we miss it too much. We ain't been on. Everybody been together in so long.
Right.
Definitely.
So, all right, y'all. This is the Happy Holidays episode. We said Happy Holidays. You know, well, we started off a little bit, you know, morose, but
morose.
It's good. It's good. A lot of people.
How about a safe, warm, and healthy holiday?
Yes. So now that's what we're going to deal with: staying safe, warm, and healthy. So you want to deal with safe first, Belay?
Yes, sir. So we're going to start.
We may have to deal with healthy too. Oh, shout out to Ominiki at her house. They had the power
fuse box caught on fire.
Fuse box caught on fire, so they all had to leave out of that, you know, their house. So.
She told me to tell y'all that she was feeding hungry children in Bankhead, but I refused to tell y'all that. Really, she just had a little incident at the house, a little emergency. She couldn't be on the day.
And the little children in Bankhead, if they outside and she feeding frozen little children. Because it's 9 degrees here, so
yeah. So I seen this. it's like 15, 16-year-old boy walk. He had designer clothes. I tell you he had money, but he had on a short set.
Oh no.
You know what I'm saying? So I just hit him with the truck. I took him on out. I figured Bobby, he was either out of his mind, so I was doing him a favor. You know what I'm saying? Right. Or you know what I'm saying? Or it wasn't real. I was imagining the whole thing. So
or he was gonna die from hypothermia anyway. So
either way, so I just went ahead and hit him.
Painful death. So hey, take him out.
There you go. I just went ahead and hit him with the truck, man.
Well, shit, I gotta go outside after this and find somebody then.
You gotta catch up with it.
I gotta help too. All right, so
you know what I mean? If he was really cold, I couldn't see him freeze like that. But anyway, y'all. Right. So
staying safe during this season.
To stay safe during the season, one of the biggest things we always gonna talk about is self-awareness. So the thing about that is, anytime.
Hold on, real quick, Belay, real quick. Sir. Big Till said I smudged for New Year's, so she's made us feel bad. She being all spiritual.
You know what I'm saying? I'm hitting 16-year-olds.
They talking about they smudged for New Year's. Damn, Big Till, you just made us feel bad.
We smudge after we drink. Right. You know, I'm burning everything.
I just smudged too because I run into step on the mud.
That's a new verb for us. We're gonna start saying we get
smudged.
All right, that's it. Okay. All right, y'all. So what seriously though, the thing about the cold is it makes you make mistakes. Just like extreme heat can do. Extreme cold makes you rush. And anytime you rushing, your self-awareness goes down extremely low. Mm-hmm. So this is important because of number one, accidents. It don't even involve anybody else. But when you're rushing, it's more accidents. It's more accidents. It could be in traffic. It could be you just coming down the stairs. It could be anything. But you want to be extra careful because injuries don't feel the same when it's cold. They don't heal the same when it's cold.
Right.
So you want to be, and when you get opened up in the cold, oh my goodness. I used to have a tree service, y'all, to get scraped. It's bad.
Or when you fall, so we know how to break fall, but when you slap the ground is cold, the ground is like harder.
Yes, that ground. And yes, of course we know what smudging is. Don't forget. Please don't forget that Bobby is a priest. I'm an ordained minister.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we are peaceful. Like I said, Bobby is the lamb.
The lamb, yes.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm the lamb next to the lamb. You can't get no more peaceful than this. So anyway, can you do an interview with Karen Blitz Johnson?
That's Joel Santana, man. He tripping.
Joel's, come on, man. But so
Joel's tied his bandana too tight on his head.
So see, your self-awareness, that's the number one thing when you're moving. So just take your time when you're moving. I know this cold make you want to get out fast and move and all that, but having delayed because you have an accident is much worse than just taking your time. So that's number one. Lessen the chance of accidents, self-awareness, and your self-awareness still when it comes to being a victim. Your self-awareness goes down when you're getting out of your car. When you're getting into your car, you got a bunch of stuff. Now you ain't paying attention to who around. You're just trying to get out this cold. Don't have that attitude. Right. Take a couple seconds because your life is that important and your loved ones are that important to take a second. Don't just, I got to get out this cold. I got to move. You have to survive and live and protect yourself. And you need to have that in the mind sometimes, just taking that breath like we talked before. You just do whatever. It's cold. I got to get out here in this cold. I got to leave. Just that one breath. I do that because I'm one of the people that, when you're getting ready to leave somewhere, you cut your car on, you go to the car, then you run back in to get something. Then you go back to the car, then you run back in to get something else. You run back in. I run back in 5-6 times. I used to. I don't do it no more. Because before I walk out that door, okay, I go over what am I going to leave the house to do? What are the things I need to do to have with me before I leave? I do that all the time now before I walk out that door because I'm not coming back in this car. I don't say that because I end up coming back in that. But That's what I do. Do that, man. Every time you leave, every time before you leave the store, before just take a quick moment. It can mean all the difference. So self-awareness, I want to just, that's the biggest thing about these holidays on the biggest scale of staying safe. Don't keep your hands full while y'all here shopping and you're on Black Friday and you all that stuff. You know, you're making trips to your car and coming back and forth. Pay attention to who's outside. Pay attention to who's watching you. We always talk about this. You get in an altercation because there's a lot of arguments going on during this time of the year in stores and places of that nature. You get into an argument with somebody, you make sure you see if it's where that person is going, that they're not waiting for you to leave. You never leave a public place and get in your car and go to your car if you know somebody, if you had an argument, you know somebody's watching around, if they're still there. So remember those things. Remember what you already know. Don't forget it because you're cold.
Now, quick thing, Big Till, so I was wondering about self-defense in winter season too, and how to move in these temps. So the temperature is one thing, but also I don't know. I think you live in the more northerly states. You're dealing with snow and everything too. The best thing, first of all, you want to end it quickly. When I deal with warmth, you'll see why breath and warmth go hand in hand. But you don't want to be out here heavy breathing and rapidly breathing. But the best thing you can do, really, in defense of yourself, if somebody just comes at you and you got to defend yourself, don't get into a striking engagement. It's best to grapple. Grapple, go down to that ground, because you're going to end up falling anyway. And most fights go to the ground, but fights when it's icy, snowy outside, like Bele said, that hits different. The way you fall there, it may take your breath, and then now you may have been winning, but now you end up losing that engagement, right?
Yeah.
Take them down so you're in control. So you control how you descend. And then if you're in a northerly place where you can't carry tools, which is most places in the north, you can't really carry tools like that. You're the weapon, though. So now you're slamming your fists, you're slamming elbows into their face, into their neck. You got to get up quickly. But the best defense is what Bele was saying, avoid. So your awareness has to be on 10. It should already be at a high level when you out and about. Not so much that you're paranoid, but you want to be aware. You want to be much more aware when you're out there. One thing, when you leave the house, a lot of people from the north, like from Chicago, most people know this, but it snows in the south sometimes. And I watch people blinded who walked out. I've taught my wife always, when you go outside, either have on shades or you gradually look up at the snow, because that snow, when the sun hits, it'll blind you.
That has happened
for a couple of minutes. You don't want to be in a place where it's dim light and then you walk out into that snow and you're blind. That's when the person will attack you. So know that it's good if you have shades. If you ever see skiers and they're wearing shades, that's why, because they don't want to get snow blindness. Okay.
Yes.
So get yourself some shades. They don't have to be nothing expensive. Just enough. Put them on. Get to your car so you can see. You can drive with them. You got some nice shades, expensive shades or whatever. But just so you get in the car, and then gradually once you're in the car, lock the door and let your eyes adjust to that brightness, and then you can drive.
As far as your real quick, the last thing about safety, I spoke on a person. As far as your your domain, we speak on that a lot. It doesn't change for the winter, but we're just talking heat wise and weather wise. Certain things you want to always keep. If you don't, you have to make other arrangements. So you always want to have some heaters, some portable heaters. If you have kerosene heaters, kerosene lamps, things of that nature are very good to always have in cases of emergency. Kerosene heaters and lamps. there's been a thing going around with preppers and on different pages I've seen where they talk about the um, clay flower pot with the candles that they can heat a whole room up. That's not true. That's just, I don't know where that comes from, but that's not true. Now, if you put these candles, you have these candles right here, and you put 7 or 8 of these in a small room, it'll heat it up a little. It's gonna heat it.
Now, I'll tell you what you can do. I do some. So I went out and camped in 30-degree weather. I think I told you the stupidest thing ever. I decided to go without sleeping bag to test myself, cold weather survival. I'm no longer in the military, so I have access to things I had. So, but I just say, hey, I'm with the family, thank God. Because after about 4 in the morning, I had to sleep in the sleeping bag with my wife. My wife was pregnant at the time with my 14-year-old. I finally said, dear, I got to give in. So I made a heater for the tent. The way you do it, you get yourself a can of beans or whatever you ate, and then you cut holes, 3 holes around the sides, and that, the top's off. You get you a tea candle, put it in there, you light it. Those holes radiate the heat around in the tent. Mind you, I said tent. I didn't say like my living room and no shit like that.
Right.
The tent was warm as hell. But the second the tea light went out, I knew it went out. How did I know? Because that cold woke my ass up. Like, oh my God. So I'm like, oh shit. And me saying, oh shit, that woke up my son, who at the time was 6. He's 20 years old now. But so I said, God. He said, Dad, I gotta go pee. And that made it worse. So now I'm taking him out. I'm already freezing. I take him out, get dressed, son. He gets dressed. I'm already dressed, but we go out. And just the added cold of being out there and come back into that tent, I couldn't even go into the bag and get another tea light. My hands were so frozen. I said, Dad, I got to get in here with you. And that's helped me.
Your story about you not having a sleeping bag is the reason when we did the USPI weekend that I didn't have a tent. I was like, I don't need no tent. Bobby ain't use a sleeping bag. He was out. I ain't gonna even have no tent. And we in a basement, but it's winter but the power's not on. Man, froze. I had a sleeping bag, but no tent.
I tell you, there's a person who I won't name, but he has a couple of shows on Black Power Media. And he got locks. He didn't have a tent. So I said, brother, and I had them in the basement. And I said, brother, you know, well, we're in the basement. I'll be fine. I said, okay, you will? Okay. You do have a foam pad to lay on or something like that, right? Yeah. And I got this the space blanket, like aluminum foil. I said, well, I tell you from experience, that shit don't work. Oh, yeah, it works against so-and-so temperatures. I said, okay, go ahead. He was laying down there. I'm checking on me. I said, everybody wake up. I said, your brother's freezing right here, shaking like a stripper. Anybody going to help him? So one of the other brothers who we know, who's an artist, I think that's the one, let him in the tent with him.
That's hilarious.
So I said, he's gonna come upstairs and ask me for help in a minute. I knew. He was down there. I guess he was just gonna try to tuck it. He was I was like, shh. Boy, you won't be able to stop no more riots.
You know what I'm saying?
I won't say who it is. Like, boy,
here's a tip. A lot of people have their hands get cold really fast. Their fingertips freeze really fast. Here's something a wise man showed me a drill you could do. So you grab your wrist like this, and you could do it either way. You either open slow and contract fast, open slow, contract fast. You do that to one hand, and when you switch, you do it the opposite way. I will open fast and then close slow. Open fast, close slow. Already my hands have heated up. I just only did it one
That
time.
brings energy to them.
Now, I usually tell people that I usually don't give credit to anybody when I'm out in the open, and I tell people that little jewel, but since Bob was right here, I guess I can admit that he has shown me that. No, so there's little tricks you can do, there's things you can do to stay warm. One thing, of course, be active. If you're really cold temporarily, let's just say you maybe have an hour in this cold environment or whatever. Well, the move creates heat. Well, leg movements going to create the most heat for your body. So that's anything doing with squats and lunges and stuff like that, just to keep active. So far as your house, like we were saying, same rules apply as always apply. It's just in this cold, it's the same thing. Don't forget what's happening because you're cold. Don't run to the door too fast. Realize this is kick door season. You know what I'm saying? So don't just come to your door because it's holiday season and family supposed to be coming and what's the name supposed to be coming. You got people supposed to be coming over. Just don't drop your guard. And until you're around your family and everything, like I ain't saying be looking at everybody. I'm just saying don't be too naive. They're not there yet. Don't expect, don't assume. You know what I'm saying?
Now I'll tell you.
Yes, sir.
Now we were living in Chicago. My mother, she's from Mississippi, from Yazoo, but she lived in Chicago longer than Mississippi. But it was one Thanksgiving, man. I was 13. And I said, Mom, why you got the door wide open? She said, so when family come, they don't just come on in. I said, Mom, we still live in Chicago, don't we? We ain't move to, LA or something different. I wouldn't do it in LA either. But she said, nobody's going to do nothing during Thanksgiving. I said, really? So we're in the house. I'm talking to my mom. I was like, Mom, this don't make no sense. This is dangerous. And a dude walks in asking for a plate. So my mother said, just let me make you a plate. I got my knife in my hand,
Right.
My father was like, Mita. My mother's name is Almita. He said, Mita, that don't make no goddamn sense. This man could have came and killed everybody. So She made him a plate. And when he left, my mother looking at me like, she knew she had made a mistake. Because he could have came in and give me something else, not a plate, See. And don't do that. Even if you live in the South, don't just leave your door open like that.
I'm telling you,
that's dangerous as hell.
People, you got to understand. You got people. Some people that wander the street have real mental conditions, right?
Yes.
So you got that going on now. So just take this one person that has real mental conditions. They're also cold. And they're also hungry.
Right.
And it's the holiday season. They still have the same depression as people who lost people and all this is going on.
Right.
I was just at John's, the local fine food restaurant right around the corner. Went there last night. And when I walked in, it was a dude in line with a big trench coat and one of those hats that I be wearing as a joke. I don't know if y'all know the kind that, I don't know what they call, Bob. The ears come all the way down. They can tie up right here, a strap right there. Mm. He had one of those on with some big shades and it was dark. And I automatically said, okay, this is one of them dudes. He's not well. And I had just walked in too. And the security kind of walked behind him and was just kind of chilling. And the guy just said, I had a dream that some shit went down in here. I had a dream some shit went down.
So, y'all better listen, though.
And I'm thinking to myself, he about to make the shit go down.
All right.
And so he looking at me and said, brother, I'm telling you, I had a dream last night and the shit went down in here. And, the people around him was all, real calm. But I was okay because, first of all, he's on the side that my knife is on, which is my good side. my good hand. I was okay. You know what I'm saying? The guy, the security all around. So if anything happened, I wasn't really worried. And because of that, I said, I don't even remember what I said, but I was like, to the fact, oh man, it ain't not gonna happen in here because everybody in here love everybody, man. It ain't, so you ain't got to worry about that in here, And he just kind of was like, huh, put his head down and ain't say nothing else, I don't know the moral of that story. Just know the crazy people out there, and they can scare you.
Well, like Gregory Jones said, crazy is crazy 24/7, 365. It doesn't take a holiday. Yes, now I'm slow to call people crazy, but I was on the train riding, and I learned also being safe all year. You should be. We're dealing with this holiday season now, but I'm reading a martial art magazine. Big dude. And why the troublesome dudes always just giant dudes? I mean, he's so big. He's sitting down. I tell my friend he must have had the biggest ass ever. Because that you sit down, you got a big booty, it's gonna make you taller. And this dude was like so high over me. Plus, he was just a giant standing up anyway. I'm like, damn. So he said, "You're a martial artist?" I said, "No, I just know a little bit." He said, "Well, what would you do if I just spit in your face?" I said, "Oh, please don't spit in my face, man. Please don't spit in my face." He said, "What would you do? I reach down in my pants right now and I pull out some shit and throw it in your face." I said, "You pull some shit out and throw it in my face." Because now I'm worried he's going to do it. Because who thinks of that? I said, "You pull some shit out and throw it in my face, I'm going to beat you to death." He's like, "Boy, little dude, you crazy." Because he's thinking, he's so big, I can't do nothing. And he don't know. My hand right here. Now, right. When I say I'm going to beat him to death, I ain't going to punch him. Stabbing him is beating him too. So, you crazy. He's hitting me so hard with his body. Boom, I'm slamming into the side of the train. I said, "Dude, don't do that no more. Don't do that no more." He said, "Boy, you crazy." And the way his body, I'm like, damn. And then please let this man get off because one stab ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna have to be like crazy shit with it. So
I remember that. Thank you.
And so he just banging me, and then he gets up and leave. Got to leave. I rolled up that martial art magazine, stuck it in my backpack, and never again have I read a martial art magazine in public. Because I don't want people to even get invited to think no shit that they can.
You tell us that too about not being too public, public. People be out doing routines
right,
at
wearing
the train.
Martial art shirt out and all that. Wearing a kung fu uniform and shit.
The moral of my story that sounded like it wasn't going nowhere is that we have these people that's here all the time, but at this time of the year, they're more inclined to seek refuge.
And we're more inclined to offer it.
Yes. All of that is heightened at this time of the year. So right. They will randomly go up to a door where they wouldn't usually do that.
Mm-hmm.
To see if it's open, to see if it's locked. They will randomly do that. So that's what I was just getting at by protecting yourself and your home. But yes, don't leave. It's the holidays. You're expecting guests. That don't mean you leave your door unlocked so they can walk on in when they knock. Still remember to keep your guard up that things are still what they are out here. So that's it as far as the safety for your home. We know how to protect the home with the tools and everything. One thing I did want to say about if you're in a state that you can't carry tools, unconventional tools, you can have a screwdriver in your hand, can't you? Or you can carry a screwdriver in your pocket.
If it's snowing, you can have a shovel. You can have a small one.
Yeah, and this shovels you can get that can do work. It's tactical shovels.
Yeah, survival shovel is small. It folds up, it unfolds, and then it's not just a shovel; it's also a blade.
Yeah,
it's sharp on the side. So
yes, sir. You want to run a health too, Bob, or you want to?
Well, I'm gonna do staying warm.
Okay.
All right.
Health
so
short anyway.
In cold temperatures, everybody knows you should stay warm. But I want to deal a little bit with the science of it. The body burns extra calories to keep you warm, right? If you overexert yourself, you're going to lose calories, which is energy, and you're going to sweat. which is very dangerous. Same way, if you're in a sleeping bag, you should sleep in the bag naked. I've said this before, because if you sleep in a sleeping bag, your body heats it up. You sleep in a sleeping bag and you got clothes on, those clothes are wet.
Yeah.
And you get out, like it's 9 degrees here.
Woo.
You step out in 9-degree weather and it's wet. At the best, you're going to be sick. You're going to suffer hypothermia in seconds. You can die in minutes. So don't let your clothes, and I'll deal with why that happens. Don't let your clothes get wet. So don't overexert yourself. So yeah, do the leg exercise and stuff, but not to the point where you're overexerting yourself. You can squat.
Right.
Don't overexert. Also, you want to breathe heavy. If your body is too hot, you have to slow down to maintain a comfortable internal temperature. You have to adjust parts of your clothing according to conditions. If the temperature falls, you'll have to add layers, right? That all seems common sense. The optimal temperature of the human body is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, or for our folks like Iapo that lives in Central America, and our folks from across the pond, that's 36.5 degrees Celsius. The body is so fragile that being just 2 degrees below normal is dangerous. So 96 degrees is dangerous. If you go 5 degrees below normal, that can be fatal. So 93 degrees below. People always talk about fevers in the opposite direction, but going too low is also dangerous.
Very.
For me, I have to be careful. My normal body heat is 97 degrees. So I always got to watch my shit ain't, dropping too low. There are several ways your body conserves or dissipates heat. One is conduction. Conduction is the transfer of heat from a warm object to a cooler one. So if you were to lie on a cold floor, the heat from your warm body would transfer into the floor. So a lot of times in Chicago, elders are found dead. For some reason, they get on the floor, like the elder couple, that happens a lot. They get on the floor, they're freezing. It slows their thought processes and everything. They can't get up quick enough. Then they end up urinating on the floor and they end up stuck, frozen to the floor.
Oh my gracious.
And they die like that. I don't know why they get on the floor, but
damn.
Try not to get on that floor. The greater the temperature difference between the objects, the faster the heat is transferred. For example, if you place your hand on a glowing red hot stove, you're going to move that mud quick.
Yes, you are.
Right? Because the greater temperature difference between the objects, the faster the heat is transferred. So that's way hotter than you. You feel it. But if it was just warm, just turning on, it would take longer for you to feel that. Okay. The greater the connected surface area between two objects, the faster heat is transferred between them. For example, if you place your finger in some cold water, in a cold swimming pool, right? Your finger get cold, but your body is cool. It's all right. It ain't going to change. Jump in that pool, and your whole body going to get cold because your heat going to get sucked out quick.
Yeah, well.
Because it's over a larger surface. Another way is insulation. Insulation is any material that slows down, and this is important because this is for your survival. Insulation is any material that slows down the movement of heat between objects. This is usually achieved by using a material that has small pockets of dead air to prevent heat from transferring. That's like a sponge or foam.
Like this down jacket.
Exactly. A sponge or foam pad works great as an insulator because it's full of air pockets. So you could take foam and stick it inside of your pants and if you had to, and that'll keep you a whole lot warmer than you were. Okay. Somebody said I had a cellie who smoked weed in the cell. He knew somebody in Gen Pop we was in receiving. He didn't get caught smoking, but fishing in the gallery. Oh, I thought you were gonna say something about he was smoking. It kept y'all warm up in that.
I'm about to say, well, I'm reading. I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh, snap.
He catching up. He catching up.
Now,
James, this guy here. James catching up. Okay, James, we got you.
If you compress the insulator, you remove the small pockets of dead air, thereby making the insulator less efficient at stopping the transfer of heat.
Hold up.
So you got a foam pad on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Get a thick one, because if you got a thin one,
right? Okay,
you lay down, it's gonna compress it. You're gonna be cold them up.
Makes sense.
Get a thicker one, particularly if it's thicker and more stiff, so it's not pushing those air pockets out, so you stay warm. Another way is convection. Convection is almost like conduction, except the two objects in contact are also moving relative to each other. The amount of heat transferred is still dependent on the temperature difference, and is still dependent on the amount of connected surface area. But there's a third component, the speed at which the cooler object is moving. This is best demonstrated by what you heard called wind chill. Okay. The wind chill factor. It's a hot day. You're really hot, but then you feel a cool breeze against your face. The speed of the air matters. If the air is moving slowly, you probably won't feel much. But if the wind is traveling 60 miles per hour, you risk the possibility of frostbite on a hot day within a matter of seconds. Okay. So the cooler thing moving faster, that affects you more, the wind chill. Another way you can tell that, it's hot, you're walking, a car goes by, generating wind, or a truck, and that it hits you. It cools you off. Well, in the wintertime, you ain't gonna say you gonna say because that shit gonna make you colder. So can you get warmer by running? No, you get colder.
Yeah.
The air on you is gonna be so. Be careful. My mother's always say, "Don't be out there running." I used to be running home. It's cold, ma. I said, "Shit, you better walk home and control your breathing. Otherwise, you can freeze before you get up in here." Oh, wow. Okay. Another way is radiation. Thermal radiation is the transfer of electromagnetic energy between objects. The warmer an object is, the more it will radiate, like the sun, that candle.
Right.
We receive radiated heat from the sun, fires, and light reflected off of other objects. If you ever want to wonder how hot the sun is 93 million miles away, and it heats the earth. Something 93 million miles away heats up this planet Earth. That motherfucker hot.
Right.
It's it. So their religion is talking about people came from the sun. That's bullshit. My daddy and my wife dark skinned, but they came from the sun, boy. You talking about dark? They be so dark. They be skeletons. They wouldn't even be skeletons. Skeletons will roast. So nobody came from no sun. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't usually break on people's religion, but that's ridiculous. A good example of how thermal radiation works is the effect of cloud cover on temperature. The Earth radiates heat at night that was collected during a sunny day. The temperature will be cooler on a clear night, in case you didn't know that, than on a cloudy night.
Yeah, it's gonna be
smug.
smug.
Some of this radiation is reflected back by the cloud cover. Just so you know that. So when it's cloudy at night in the summer, it's gonna be hotter.
It's gonna be muggy.
Yeah, muggy, exactly. Because
that's what it's called.
Exactly. We call it muggy. In order to prevent your body from losing heat, be sure to cover all exposed areas of your skin and wear plenty of layers. You want the radiation to come back at you. The clothing essentially works as cloud cover. Got me? Bouncing energy back towards your body. Pay special attention to covering the neck, face, and head. Another way is evaporation. I won't go too much into, because there's several ways, but your breathing. The important part about evaporation is your breathing is actually the primary cause of heat loss in a cold weather environment.
Slow breathing.
So your water's evaporating, When you breathe in and out, you are constantly exchanging heat by evaporation and the 3 other processes. When you breathe in cold air and breathing out your warmth, you're putting yourself in a bad situation. Yes. Breathe slowly to prevent heat loss and cover your mouth with a scarf or cloth. That mask, something, and you can tell, like when the first winter, when we start wearing the mask, you be warm when you have it on. You take it off, you cool up because that radiation is radiating back to you. Mm-hmm. You aren't losing from evaporation, except a little bit in the mask. That's why the mask will be wet. So control that breathing so you're not losing too much through evaporation. Cover your mouth so you get that radiation, and so you're not losing too much. You're losing even less, okay? I'll deal with clothing. Now, 2 most important pieces of clothing you can have is a watch cap, what black folk call a scully.
About to say, my grandma would say socks and drawers, but
yeah, you want to have that all year round. But scully, right? I keep them with me. Keep these should be in your go bag,
yes,
in your backpack, in your pocket. You should always have a scully on you, all weather, so you have one in your go bag, okay? And then the other one, if you just have a scully, you also should have a scarf. It's the 3 S's: the scully, the scarf, and then finally the ski mask. Now I like a balaclava, the same thing. So a balaclava goes up, but it's a ski mask, okay? Balaclavas are usually made of polyethylene, urethane, whatever the hell that
I'm gonna get one real quick.
But a ski mask is the same. So a ski mask covers your head, your face, and your neck. Your face is good. You really don't have to cover your face, but as long as it covers your head and neck, that's where your heat mainly leaves from. After that, it's your fingertips and palm. Then it's your toes, but your head and neck, okay? You want to cover that. So if you don't have a balaclava or a ski mask, a scully and a scarf are a must. But now you're covering your head and you're covering your neck with the scarf, okay? Roughly 30% of your body heat is lost through your neck and your head.
Is this one of those things, Bob? I can't pronounce what you said it is, but it's one of these that you can pull
balaclava. Yes, you pull it over your head. Yes, see that covers his head and neck.
Right, so, you can put it over. You can make it like almost like a ninja mask, adjusted to look like that. If that's what you wanted for the cover your mouth and face. All right,
and the ski mask works just as well. The best material for it is wool.
Right.
But if you can't get wool, if you can't get wool, you can get synthetic material. Do not get cotton. Cotton holds that sweat in there and it's wet on your neck. And
that's it. That's why I don't long johns. The only way I wear long johns is if I wear a t-shirt under the long johns, because I don't like the way the cotton hold. Cotton long johns will pull that moisture and hold it right there.
And if people if it's really cold, you only got one pair of long johns, people have a tendency to wear it twice like it ain't underwear or something.
Right. And that's another thing.
It itches the hell out of you because it's holding the sweat. So you're getting all the bacteria on you. Mm-mm.
Yeah, Scullies work good. I mean, not Scullies. These koofies work good too to go under any other type of hat just for extra. Because, I do it layers.
It's a layer. Right.
And this is these type of hats right here, man. You don't really get cold enough in Atlanta for these. These are freaking great. Cover the chin cold, or you can use them for the month.
Right. Just make sure you got a scarf on too.
Yeah, you're gonna need a scarf. You're gonna need both of them unless you use it like this and just let it drop. With your jacket.
Even then, in Chicago, that wind gonna blow that shit out the way.
Now if you're in Chicago, it's a different life.
And you want
New York, Chicago.
So you want to cover. If you have on, say, like this hoodie, which this is, Whitney Young, that's a Chicago high school. That's my high school. But if you put on this sometimes you might want to use rubber bands on the wrist.
Glad you said that, Bob.
Keep them there.
Got one more quick one for you.
Friend of mine was out. We were getting ready to go to the movies. Winter in Chicago. We had to get gas. He said, I'll pump the gas. He's pumping the gas, and I'm looking at him. I'm watching his jacket rise up. I said, oh, it's over with. He's pumping the gas, and for some reason, he's holding the pump. You don't have to hold the pump. Don't hold the pump when it's cold, y'all. Because if that like rubber insulation is gone, there's metal there, your hand can stick to that.
Yeah.
He's holding it, and the sleeve goes up, and that wind, a piece of Chicago wind, just a piece, it hit his wrist right there. He said, God damn. Because now his whole body freezing. He was jacked up. So he dropped the pump. I had to pick up the pump, finish pumping. God damn, he in the car. He freezing now. Because that little piece of wind, Chicago wind is a hawk for real. So even though it's the hawk, that little piece is a little teeny hawk. And that little teeny hawk got his little claws, his talons right there. And it just ripped up his goddamn bloodstream. He was freezing. Had to get in the car from just that little piece of Chicago wind. Now, he like, man, you don't never be cold. Don't never, I said, because look, I got a thick rubber band around my wrist under the coat. So even if the coat rises up, my sweatshirt, you're going to wear a sweatshirt too.
Right.
It's holding that shit.
That's
if I had on long johns, I would have a rubber band around the legs there.
Right, and your socks go over the long johns.
Yes, I learned all that, from the military shit. When you have your pants and your boots, you can't really sweat. You would fold the cloth of your BDU, your battle dress uniform. You fold the cloth around like your shin, like you pull the back of it at your calf, fold it around, and then you can rubber band it. You can tie it, but you ain't gonna have all that tape. Slip a rubber band over there, strong rubber band. And actually had these things like, it looks almost like a skinny scrunchie. I'll put that around, then you put them in your boots. But I think legs, those are people who didn't go to airborne school. Legs, I don't think they could do that. I think they just had to have it in there. But that's called dressing so I would dress my boots. I mean, my pants, and you dressing your pants over your boots, so you have it wrapped so it's thin. It looks almost like what they call them, safari pants.
Mm-hmm.
Water ain't getting in there, and you have good boots. I had Danner boots, right? So shit.
That's what I was going.
That's another thing. If you can afford Danner boots, something like that, waterproof boots, get those. Because God is terrible when your shoes get wet and it's cold out.
Right. Watch our show. We talked about that before. Saying ouch once when you make a purchase on clothes.
I can say it now because we're back. We went to Florida for my wife's birthday. And my wife loved the ocean. So we went to Florida. And this is the first time ever in my life that I've been to many beaches. I've never felt cold sand. I mean, ice cold sand. It was insane. I knew it was going to get really cold today. That's why we came back early, because we didn't want to get caught down there. We're walking on the sand and it's cold. I said, oh my God, y'all are going, this is crazy. So we at the beach. Shit, I put my shoes back on. But we at the ocean, man, and I thought I was back far enough. The goddamn wave, it boom over my shoes. My feet were wet, and that was it. And I said, hey, I got to go back, because if I don't go back in quick, I'm screwed.
Hey,
hypothermia. So
got a question for you, Baba.
Yes.
What is the best thing to do for frostbite? Not severe, the kind that makes your fingers and toes hurt like hell.
Okay.
When they're throwing out warm water, cold water, nothing, just let them thaw out.
So the best thing is cool water. not cold water. Do not use warm water or hot water. They will swell up to the point you feel like they're gonna bust.
So wait, cologne? You use cologne when you frostbitten?
No, not that damn cool water.
Oh,
well, you can use that because you frostbitten and you end up expiring. At least you smell good until you decay too much. So make sure you don't use no hot water. That's a no. Use cool water. Run it on your fingers and everything, and then make sure you dry off well. Right on your toes. Dry off well. Don't have no little moisture in between your toes. Little moisture, just like that little piece of wind. Jack you up. That little moisture between your toes will jack you up.
When you draw off, should you wrap up after that? Whatever was frostbitten.
You should. So your toes, say if you make sure they dry, then use some not the same socks you had on.
No, right.
Because even if they're not wet to you, they may still have a little sweat in them. Put on some new socks, and if you can, some slippers. For your hands, put on wrap your hands. You really should have extra mittens. I didn't say gloves, mittens. So when you wear gloves, each finger is separate. They don't generate enough heat to really warm your hands the way they should. When you have on mittens, all 4 fingers are here now. The only thing is your thumb will get a little, and usually mittens have a little thicker thumb because of this.
Mm-hmm.
Your fingers are together. They generate enough heat. They will warm your hands up better. Okay, get yourself mittens if you can. Okay. I know gloves look cool, but hey, look, mittens are safer.
If you go get some gloves, this is what I was gonna say. Get very good gloves. Get gloves like this with the elastic and the strip, like Bob was saying. This is basically what he was talking about with the rubber band effect. When I go around my shirt or my jacket and I tighten it around there.
You see how thick those are right there?
Yeah, these are thick. Ain't a lot of wind coming through there. Now they're not gonna make my hands warmer, but they're not gonna let them get colder.
Now I have some mittens that have this index finger is separate.
No, that's cool.
And I'm sure y'all can guess why.
Exactly. That's why I said the glove. I was gonna say that's the only thing I need. One finger got to be free. So that's beautiful. Also,
Big Till said, what about leather gloves? Are those not good either?
Yeah, for driving.
Now, can you defend yourself? Yeah, so leather gloves outside, if they got fleece inside or fur, yeah.
Yes.
Those are expensive. Now I believe you're a professor, right, Big Till? So I know y'all make the big money. So you can buy, you can buy a whole leather jumpsuit with the mink inside. I know y'all can do that, but I can't do that. So now I'm just joking.
Of course you can defend yourself. Of course you can defend yourself with mittens on.
The president of the school. Can you defend yourself with mittens? Yes.
Of course, because think about it. What are you going to do where you can't defend yourself with mittens on?
Palm, grab.
Wait a minute. I can grab this, right? So what else I need to do? I can.
Oh, Big Till, I'm an adjunct professor. I ain't got no money.
Yeah.
Now.
Real quick too, Barbara.
Just so you know, hold on, you can put socks on.
Hey, we did it as children.
And if anybody, if you were a child growing up with parents like I had,
we did it.
I kept losing my gloves and my mittens. My gloves, my mother and kid, they were cheap. Those mittens, she was mad. So she would put the goddamn socks. I had make me wear socks in school because that was embarrassing. And then she would put a big safety pin linked to my jacket so I couldn't get rid of them motherfuckers. And then, I would slip them off like this, and now it's hanging from my jacket. So when I go home, I got to put it on. Hilarious. So I learned not to lose my shit. But yeah,
when make you lame, you're gonna remember.
Right, you can use the socks, but it wasn't just me going to school. It's like 20 children.
Oh yeah, I was one of them. I was one of them picking at you with the same stuff. I was one. Now I was just going to show these. They pass these out on set a lot. This is the particular brand. Well, I'm glad I marked it out so you. Anyway, the heat pads.
Yeah.
So I never believed in these things, but I never used them before. It don't take using one time.
Right.
They really do last up to about 8 hours. This one they say this one says 10 hours. I can tell you for a fact they last about 8 hours. I can tell you for a fact they really do warm you. You get these. I don't get the kind for your feet. Just get the kind for your hands, because the kind for your feet are harder to activate. Right. You get the kind for your hands, all you do is squeeze them.
Yeah.
And you put them in your gloves, you can put them in your shoes, you put them in your hat, you can put them in your person, anywhere on your person, and they work very well.
So pay attention when he said you don't get the ones for your feet, you get the ones for your hands for your feet.
Yes.
You activate them, then you put them in your shoes.
Yes. The ones for the feet are too big. They don't activate as fast. They take longer to activate, and they last much shorter.
In the military, we call those trigger fingers. Yes, exactly, Yapo. I know you're in the military. Okay. You're in the military now, Yapo? That's why you're in Central America, huh?
Oh.
You're in that 5th Special Forces, Yapo?
Oh, shucks.
Down there, oh, shit. We done chew some of the same dirty, Yapo.
So yes, my mother would put socks under my gloves when I wanted to play in the snow.
I used those heat packs when I worked as a door-to-door canvasser in the winter. Oh, cool.
That's what's up.
Yes, my mother would put socks under my gloves when I wanted to play in the snow. That's a good idea. But socks under the mittens, gloves is hard.
I would have to see that. I need to see that. I didn't have.
She may have had those, or they may have had those 5-finger, the 5-toe gloves. Toe socks.
Yeah, that could be.
That'll work.
That'll work. Or you either have really big socks and
just bend them over.
Yeah, bend them through each hand and maybe tie them off or something. Now, with rubber bands, that might work too. So
right.
All right. So are we
trying to know about the difference in heaters? Yes.
Yes, definitely different. It's a difference.
Not a lot of dirty Yapo. And then Yapo, don't let me see Yapo jumping out of plane into Atlanta just to visit. Now with a friend of mine from the military, man, after we had both got out, he calls me at work, and I said, "Dude, how did you find me?" I hope through normal channels. He said, "You know how I did." I said, "We said when we got out, we would not do that." I said, "Don't ever look me up again outside of normal channels, man. We didn't really have." He said, "I thought you'd be happy to hear from us." I said, "Hell no, not the way you found me." No. So never heard from him again. But I'm like, dude, don't do that shit.
I know that's right. That's scary.
I don't do that. I wouldn't do that to my family. I wouldn't do that to my friends. I've never done it to none of y'all. I left that life behind. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, to a degree, I use it for self-defense and to teach my people, but not to find things on people. Like, damn, man, don't do that. Pastor Texas says Dave Minton. I don't know why I keep saying she. I don't know whether a man, woman, or other. They said I meant mittens.
Make more sense.
Yes.
You want to skim health?
So you can do health if you want to, and then
we'll do health real quickly. Some things to remember during the cold.
Yapo said they've been out of the military a long time.
Okay.
Be like, sure. That's just messing with you, Yapo.
Nah, we mess with you, family folks. Glad you chose the side of the people. I know that's right.
Yes.
We are all
I'm glad I did too.
We are all glad and thankful and grateful. So so safety wise, we sprinkled most of the safety throughout the show. If y'all I'm sure y'all caught it. So health wise, I'm sorry. We kind of gave you some health tips. You got to think. So one of the things is how to stay warm is that's health issue.
Yes, absolutely.
So
all of it. protection.
Right. Everything we talked about is really health. The beginning of the show was really about health, mental health.
Yeah, mental. Uh-huh.
So as far as nutritional health, one of the things people never think about like that during the winter is dehydration. And it happens a lot more in the winter than it does in the summer. And the reason is simple. In the winter, in the summertime, we're thinking about it more. And it's because we're sweating, we see the sweat more. You sweat in the summertime, but it goes into your clothes and it doesn't get to that state where it feels wet on your body. It leaves really fast. So because we dress warmer, we actually are we're losing water.
Right.
Because of the cold, and we're
we drinking hot drinks, and
we lose water naturally faster a lot of times than we expect to in the winter. And so we have a dehydration that we're not expecting, that we don't look for. And since 85% of humans, dehydration alert mechanism has been retarded. That's more than 85, is about 90%. And that's why you get a backache and you think it's because you need some potassium or you got to pull muscle, and it's dehydration on an emergency level screaming. That's the last level it has before it gives out and something shuts completely down. It comes to you in the term of a backache or a hunger pain. Those are the last levels of defense your body has to warn you that
it's been stunted. So I was going to say, Big Till said been stunted, not been retarded. We try to avoid that.
I'm sorry, I thought about the word before I said it. That's how I learned it.
So I was going to say it's okay because you're not talking about a person's mental faculties or delay, right? It's talking about, so that word has been made taboo because people who are delayed were called retarded.
Right.
But retarded means something, yes, that has been stunted. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So I agree with you.
But stunted so it doesn't cause no confusion. That's a better word.
Yeah, and I just want to apologize if I offended anyone. I've been accused of being stunted myself.
Big Phil said they saw you thinking about it.
Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you could see that on my. But so I just want to urge y'all. The main thing is what people never think about is staying hydrated, drinking water like you actually need to.
Yes,
liquids are very good during the winter time. Not necessarily hot liquids, but they do help you. Teas are very good during the winter time. The transition, because we transition from hot and cold, our pores are open and things of that nature. I don't subscribe to if you go outside without a coat on, you're gonna get sick necessarily. But I understand that most of us aren't at optimal health. When you think about that,
well, if you go outside in this, you may not get sick, but you may get dead.
Yeah, you can skip the sick part.
All right.
Yeah, you don't like getting sick, skip all that. You just go straight to death. But no, so
now as far as I drink hot tea, hot coffees, but hot tea year round.
Right.
Because cold drinks can shock your organs.
Yes. Cold drinks are really not good.
Remember drinking cold, like cold water. So I drink room temperature water and I drink hot drinks year round. Just be careful. Like also, I almost put tea in quotation marks. This is tea, but it also contains maple bourbon. I ain't gonna bullshit you. It's got maple bourbon in it, and it's got walnut whiskey.
Oh my gracious, oh my goodness, I know that's good.
It's good as hell. Now,
damn, I want some.
But don't think that just drinking whiskey or whatever itself will warm you up either.
No.
You drunk, so you think you warm, but
right. Alcohol is for how you feel on the inside.
Right.
It have nothing to do with what's really going on with your body.
Right,
so
exactly.
I'm glad we got to that. Do not be confused.
Yes, bourbon and tea, Big Till, is great.
Do not be confused or dismayed by the feeling of alcohol. So you never use alcohol for physical warmth.
Right.
It's because it will do it. It will what it would do is trick you into killing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Into hypothermia and all the other good stuff. So just know that has no bearings on what's happening to you physically.
Fashion texture said, "I'm a she." Okay,
Right.
cool. Absolutely.
Absolutely about that.
I must have seen it before. That's why I kept saying it. Absolutely about health. Being a warrior is all about health. Yes. In turn, health is your wealth. Yes.
Indeed.
You know that alcohol thing is something to be said because a lot of people really believe I'm cold, and they show it on TV shows. I'm cold, so they drink some vodka or something. That's not gonna work.
Come in like this, fix me a drink.
Right.
And to be in all honesty, it works, but it doesn't work. So it works on your mind.
Right, exactly.
But it's not helping your physical body. That's dangerous. That's like turning off the mechanism that's causing you to have a headache. You just stop the headache, but you don't know why you're having a headache. You're having a headache because your high blood pressure is through the roof. Well, you ain't gonna deal with high blood pressure. You're just gonna stop having headaches. That's what you're doing.
Right.
You know, it's similar. So yeah, you definitely want to. Oh, thank you. We glad you learned something today. That's all it's about. That's all it's about. So yeah, real quick, man. I gotta tell y'all this because that was pretty much the end of my health. I got to share with y'all this thing that I learned. I shared with Baba about the dentist. This is since we talk about health.
Yes.
It's reported that we all knew that the mercury fillings were toxic and everything. If you don't know that, you can it's a documentary Fed Up that talks about that. But I just learned that root canals. The day I was headed to the dentist to possibly get a root canal, if I could save the tooth, I was going to get a root canal. Right before I left, and y'all know we had the show. I talked about this earlier about being in the flow last show and the show before that, just being in the right movements and trusting yourself and the voice and stuff. So right before I'm ready to leave, something to say, pick your phone up, check it one time, see what's on IG, as it's 2:22 on my clock right now. So boom, I do it. Go to IG. The first post I see, this lady said, "What if I told you 98% of all breast cancer patients have a root canal on the same side as the breast cancer?" I'm like, oh, okay. Whoa. Let me pay attention to this. Then she went on to say the leading cardiovascular studies and the leading cardiologists and I forgot what it's called. Cardiologists have their own organization, association, right, of cardiology. Well, that association has called for the use of the stoppage of root canals, period, all across the board. And the reasons are because when you kill the tooth and you scrape out whatever, all the stuff out of it, whatever you got in there, we all know this, the basic, make it real simple. The nerves of the tooth spread out through your all through your neck, through your nerves that connect. These tooth have thousands and thousands of connectors. I forgot what they're called. But each
neurotransmitters.
And there's actually another word for the specific type of neurotransmitters that the tooths have. But I was right. So there's thousands of neurotransmitters that connect to your nerves and throughout your whole body. That's why a toothache can go to your brain, can affect your heart, can affect different organs, just your teeth, because of those connections. So people know if you have a dead, decaying prostate or any other organs in your body or foreign, it has to be removed. But for some reason, you get the root canal, they scrape out all the dead stuff and then cap it. Now you still have that bacteria that's in that tooth that's building up and building up. It has to go somewhere where they capped it. It can't go out. But guess what it can do? It can dissolve through that. It can go through your skin. It can go through your bloodstream. And that bacteria has called. This documentary said that it's like 99 or 98 percent of fatal. That's what you know. I'm talking about of fatal or chronic diseases.
Right. Heart attack, stroke. So
all chronic diseases.
When just so you all know, the reason why all my teeth were pulled. Before they were pulled, my lungs would constantly fill up with fluid, so I couldn't breathe. I couldn't lay on one side of my body, and definitely not my stomach when I was asleep. I couldn't breathe. I would get angry all the time, affecting my mind as well. I had strokes. They couldn't understand. I had 7 strokes at one time. They thought, they were like, the doctors, we don't even understand how you're still alive.
No, that's what caused it.
I said, because I know something. And they were like, well, you definitely do. It was so crazy. One doctor's like, you should not be here. She's crying. I said, because I know something. She said, you had 7 strokes. I said, I know. I heard what she said. I said, oh, man. She said, you had 7 strokes. I said, I heard you. She said, you had 7 strokes. I said, I heard you. I heard you. I said, I'm not tearful like you are because I know something. Right? Kept telling them I know something. They would come in, read the board. I read the board. How is mental function still here, right? My whole thing was, I'm not concerned about this. I want to make sure I don't do what causes strokes again.
Right.
And a nurse from India, she told me, doctor from India, excuse me. She said, it's your teeth. Your teeth are causing these problems, they're going to cause more problems. They got to go. You've had root canals, haven't you? Yes. Besides teeth breaking, and that's a whole nother story that I tell y'all that happened starting in elementary school, something they did to me when they gave me this medicine without my mother's permission, and my teeth turned black. So that was the end of my teeth, really, and my health. But I knew this is the problem. We went to the doctor, we didn't even pull the teeth. I had to go to a cardiologist, run on a treadmill and all that, because they were like, your heart just looks angry, what we're seeing here. And we got to make sure you're strong enough where you won't have a heart attack or stroke when they pull the teeth. So I made it through those tests. Belay went with me to get my teeth pulled. He don't even remember they pulled my teeth. I guess they must have gave him the goddamn same medicine as me, because he don't even remember. And so they pulled all these teeth out, removed all that sickness out. It was crazy. I'd be spitting out pus. Thank God my wife stayed with me. I knew why she didn't want to just give me kisses and shit back then. Now she can, but back then, like, pussy mouth, man. So they pulled all that out, man, and immediately my blood pressure went down 20 points. If you got shit in your mouth, take care of your teeth. If you don't, and if you already having problems, get that shit taken care of. I don't care how you got to get it done.
Listen,
get it done. Save up, get that shit done. Now, do not let them put root canal. They tried to give my son a root canal. I was in the room with them. I said, no root canal.
No mercury fillings, no root canals. There's other things you can do now.
No fluoride. So yeah, all right. I'm looking at my phone once. As I'm looking at the phone, I look up at the dentist. She looking at, she getting the rod to put in his mouth for a root canal. No. So I told you, no root canals. So they stopped. They're going to try to do it anyway because they are trained to think they know more than we do, and we're going to do this because it's better for them. Damn what their parents say. We know more than the parents. No, damn you. Don't give him that. And
right.
So they didn't. So I told my wife, he'll never go back to them again.
So what Big Till is saying, are dentists keeping up with the fields of medicine. They really should. That's an amazing dental procedure. That is amazing. That is amazing that a dental procedure has a scientific association to cancer. Wow, if you think of, listen, I hear you, but the medical field is broken. You have physicians, only 12% of physicians study nutrition. You really need to think about what I just said. That's profound. That's profound. That means they don't understand how food affects the body. Only 12% of nutritionists understand, of physicians understand nutrition, that meaning how food affects your body. Only 12% in America. So the question you're asking, the science, they have their own science. It's pseudoscience. And nobody cares what anybody else says. Nobody cares that fluoride, we just talked about this. Using fluoride mouthwash, was it twice a day or once a day? Twice a day? Or once a day, I think, increases your chance of getting diabetes by 50%.
And yes, we need universal dental care, Big Chill.
If you don't know something, it doesn't exist.
Now, Sugar Booger said, I had several root canals. Yeah, so what you're gonna have to make sure you do is make sure you're eating and exercise the best that you can.
Right.
Because having those root canals, it does increase your chance. So what I was gonna say, when they pulled that, I had several root canals myself. Right. Those teeth were still there, but it was jacking me up. I had like rotten teeth right here. It was all from root canals. They were jacking me up. So they had to pull them bad boys out.
And what you can do is, depending on what kind of insurance stuff you got, go to the doctor that did the root canals and ask them, is there anything that could be done now that you have them done? If there isn't, then what I would suggest doing.
I don't want to trust that much.
Well, yeah. Well, I just ask about any procedures. You don't have to ask that dentist, but in general, orthodontist, if you had a root canal in the past and you want to try to rectify that, is it something you can do now? Do they take the cap off and maybe say, look, we can give you dentures, or I don't know. But it's worth looking at, or partials that you could take out. So that
one episode we should do, maybe when we come back, is also share holistic dentists,
yes, Baba,
dentists, obstetricians.
Yes, you maybe even try to have some come on if we can.
Yes,
I think that is a freaking great idea. And the last thing I want to say is, if you listen to yourself, follow yourself, if you learn a distinction between the voice, that's what I would call God speaking to you, which is your divine self, versus your ego speaking to you, and you learn to follow that. A couple years ago, I went to one of those dentists where you have to fill out paperwork to try to get them to do the work for you free or whatever, and they were going to do a root canal for me for free. Community dentist on Old National. So I went, got the tooth scraped out and the nerves cut. And he's like, when you come back, we're going to put the cap on for the root canal be finished. And after I left out, I was like, you know what? If the nerve gone and I feel good now, I ain't going back. And I watched that tooth deteriorate in the back of my mouth, but never hurt, never got blue or purple.
Yeah, because it wasn't no damn nerve.
It's just a little steel rod, and it showed first it was just a little piece. Now it showed a whole little steel thing in the back of my mouth. But I never had no problems. And when I read that, that's the first thing I thought about. Man, it was instinctual for me not to go. If I'd have went back, I'd have had that problem. My feelings, my mercury feelings, they came out in my 20s. I got them done when I was 13 and 14, and in my 20s, they just popped out. So the tooth I'm having problems with now is a problem because I had a mercury filling that popped out and the tooth ended up cracking.
Just don't do like my mama. My mama refused to get the mercury in the mouth. Now, so So don't have half consciousness. My
Right.
mother, I'm not getting the mercury in my mouth. She capped it herself. You know what she capped it with? I think I told you this before. Chewing gum.
You told me that.
And she almost passed out. So she gonna cap it with chewing gum. The sugar and shit gets in the tube.
You know they tell you to do
she
that?
almost lost her mind.
Do you know they tell you to do that? They used to tell people to do that.
What?
Yes, you can look that up. One of the remedies they'll tell you, if you got a cracked tooth or a hole in your tooth, and while you waiting to get to the dentist, one of the things you can do is get some gum.
That must be where she got it from.
That's what we telling y'all that they don't give a damn. They used to have ads. Do y'all remember? Y'all don't remember this because I was too young too. But I got pictures of ads that they used to run in magazines with babies drinking 7-Up. You remember that?
Oh, no, that's insane.
Babies had the bottles. They market 7-Up to babies first to give them.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I've said on here, I think before, where me and my sisters didn't, and South is big on breastfeeding.
Right.
My mother, we were born in Chicago, but my mother didn't breastfeed. But you know why? She wanted to. She said, I wanted to breastfeed my babies because my sisters, they breastfeed their children. That they told her nipples were too small.
That's something they do,
and they do it even now.
They did it to the mother of my child.
They told her nipples, and we put so much trust in the doctor. So she said, I didn't do it. Then as you get older, she's like, I just want to kick myself because I know that shit was bullshit. I said, man, really? But I mean, too late. Thank God we survived. And I tell people I survived off of damn goat milk.
And that's better than
the Similac milk they were giving, or it's definitely better than that Similac. Well, they have Similac didn't exist, I don't think, when I was a baby.
You're lucky.
It existed a few years. It came a few years later.
Yeah, it started coming in the early 70s. I think.
Same way. When I was a baby, we didn't have disposable diapers.
Right.
It was the foldy. It was the cloth.
The pin.
And everybody's house had safety pins because if they had babies, they kept them safety pins, right?
Those are better. Just so y'all know.
And that's better. That's better. Yeah.
Similac lowers your child's IQ by at least 3%. Just so you know.
And not trying to make y'all feel guilty. Just got to educate you on that.
Right.
So you know that.
My daughter had Similac.
That was why my thing with my mother was, I said, "Mom, breastfed babies have a high IQ." And she said, "Well, we just lucky y'all turned out intelligent."
Hey,
that's why you can say though, lucky,
right?
Because shit, lucky it was a smart ass goat we were drinking from.
and the information, don't feel guilty what you didn't know. Just pass it on. Give it to you. Right. Give it to your child so she can give it to her baby, your grandbabies. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So we teach our children differently. Like our daughter just had a conversation with her recently about that. Somebody said while we were driving to Florida, somebody said they called and they said, "Is JB missing school?" And my wife said, "Yeah, me in school right now." I can't remember. I think we were teaching her on proper childbirth techniques or something like that. So she always grows up with that. I don't know. Is Belay sleep or froze?
No, I'm reading. I'm reading SG saying nutrition and supplements. No one tells you, and not holistic, seeing the whole body. Right?
In the 70s, they did that to sell formula. Now they promote breastfeeding. Well, I don't know if the doctors promote it. Maybe they do.
They don't promote breastfeeding in the hood.
But we gotta promote.
Yes. Which I think we are promoting. That's why it's becoming bigger. Yes. But Similac and WIC and the hood go hand in hand.
Some conversation. So we had a party at the house, and Belay and others were outside partaking of things they do that I don't. So I was sitting inside with the sisters, and the conversation went to proper breastfeeding techniques, and I want to learn, but I got the hell up out of there. I felt so uncomfortable. Like, man, I ain't got shit to say in this.
I keep seeing this comment Big Till talking about. I've never heard. Wait back. I keep seeing this comment and it keeps shocking me every time I see it. When she say, "I've never heard of putting alcohol in tea." Are you serious?
They say.
They say, yeah. I'm sorry.
It's great.
Are you sick? You have no. Where have you been at?
Now, okay, on health. Let me give you this.
Right, tea and liquor, health. Go ahead.
So, to kill colds, this is a form of tea, but ain't no tea in it.
Hot toddy.
Yes. So my mother would do this, and it would kill a cold almost immediately. She would get. Now we believe the brand has power or something. I think you can use any whiskey, but she would get Old Granddad whiskey. Don't tell her get nothing else. Old Granddad. We always had Old Granddad in the house. My mother never drunk alcohol, not even a glass of wine. So, but that was there for healing. Never drunk alcohol. I don't know why, but it wasn't her thing, right? So, and she don't know it was a thing because she never drank it. But she would take Old Granddad, put that in a cup, like about a quarter of a cup, a pat of butter, and honey. And we would drink that, and it would knock the cold out like that. And it was like she would try to just let time and your body run its course first. And it wouldn't. And when it wouldn't, she would use that Old Granddad, a pat of butter, and honey. And if one of my siblings is watching, if I'm missing an ingredient, I think that's it, let me know. And we would drink that, and it would knock that shit right out. So
hot toddy.
That's a form of tea. We call it hot toddy. It's called a toddy, yes. Exactly.
Let me just tell y'all this, though. Being in health and wellness, I have looked at this. This is one of the things that people use. And I don't understand why it works.
What?
I don't understand. I understand.
How body works?
Yeah, I understand alcohol, how it works with the body. I definitely understand butter. I understand all the ingredients. I have no idea, but it worked. Right. And one thing I don't do, if I don't understand it and it worked, I don't question it.
Hold on. Sugar Boo said my poppy put some kind of tree bark in it. Now I may be missing something. Yeah.
You put some poppy.
No, her poppy, her father.
Okay.
Grandfather.
I was about to say, we're not smoking no poppy.
Put some kind of tree bark in it. Yeah, I may be missing one. But see, I got to ask my mama now because it may be something else. That's interesting. Brandy and honey, my dad used to give back in India. See, that's known all over the world. Yeah,
it's a common thing. Honey, butter.
Now, of course, in India they wasn't using butter.
Right, because they love the cows.
The cow's sacred. So
goat butter.
Huh?
Is it goat butter? Do they have goat butter?
I've never had goat butter. Now I asked my mother one time. She was eating skins. I stayed on my mother about staying away from pork, right? And so she was eating skins. I said, Mom, well, probably go good with those skins, some pig milk. She said, pig milk? Oh my God. I said, well, that's disgusting. The pig milk. Well, the pig skin. And she was like, yeah, but that. I said, it's all gross, Mom. If that's gross to you, you shouldn't be eating those skins. She wrapped those skins up, put them down. Like,
ghee is not necessarily. I'm sorry.
That's true.
But it's
butter.
But it's not heated. Ghee comes just like regular butter. You can heat it. Ghee is just organic butter.
They are from India, so they probably know a little bit more.
Maybe you do.
But I do know. Yes, that's true. Ghee is butter.
And ghee is much healthier than.
But they don't eat butter. I mean, they don't eat pig. Not pig. They don't eat beef.
Yeah, ghee is much healthier than regular butter.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, I would use that in my hot toddy if I had to make one. So
when I got sick, the first thing my mother would break out was castor oil.
Yes,
we had castor oil too, we had cod liver oil.
What? What you know about the cod liver? Yeah, we keep cod liver to this day. I still have cod liver oil.
I go bad. Yes,
I stay away from castor oil. I had too many. My grandma, my mama, just everybody had me drinking castor. I cannot stand that shit.
I don't like it either.
But Liver cod
I
oil
didn't
is
know.
one.
I think my wife uses castor oil for her hair.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
But you know, the stuff that go in your hair should be able to go in your skin and your mouth, or you shouldn't be using that shit.
I try to listen, man. We're gonna end this right here, but I try to tell people because we're not thinking. Like we'll say the water is so bad, I gotta spin and get a reverse osmosis filter. What about your shower? I'm just saying, like, you do understand it takes 7 seconds for anything to get through your skin into your bloodstream. Just 7 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you're just gonna hit the shower pop up. Come on, man. We got to think about it. You got lotion that got yellow 8, yellow 9, ETAB, trisol. You can't pronounce this shit, but you're putting it on your skin.
Hey, shit, we eat some stuff. One time, I was reading. We had a party at this folks' house, and you know, I hate to be the party pooper, but I said, "Can I read y'all the ingredients on this cake?" It took me about 3 minutes. I'm reading people like, "What the?" Nobody wanted the cake out there. Like, what the hell? I said, "Now, can you tell somebody made a cake from scratch? Can you tell me the ingredients?" It was 4 ingredients.
Right.
This
egg, flour, butter, sugar, milk.
Right. This had like 50.
That's why, yo.
And it's like, hell no.
That's why sometimes you have to say to yourself, man, I was the Debbie Snack King. I was the Debbie Snack King, the 25-cent Debbie Snack King. Let me tell y'all, man, I was the king.
A 25-cent snack is scary anyway.
I was the king. But I'm looking at these snack kings. I'm like, this is an oatmeal cookie. Why in the hell does it have the whole back of the cookie is dedicated to the ingredients? It's just an oatmeal cookie. These are just, look at your peanut butter crackers next time you go buy them. It's peanut butter and crackers.
Right.
What is all this shit? We got to start being serious. I mean, we're not even paying attention. Like, okay, I'm just going to eat ink and motherfucking glue. Like, you can't eat. All right, y'all. I know I get on my shit. I get on my shit, man. Yes, castor oil can be used for constipation, but that's not it. You can use castor oil for a whole bunch of things. Google it. One thing I tell, sometimes I have patients with kidney stones where you can use castor oil to pass the stone. Yeah, so castor oil can be used for a lot of things. Coconut oil is the best moisturizer? No, it's absolutely emphatically not the best moisturizer. So, first of all, to moisturize what? First question. Second of all, wouldn't that depend on what kind of
skin? Now, Yappo says White Castles is a health food. Well, yes.
Stop it.
White Castles, especially if you're eating White Castles while watching Rocky 3.
But no, so just real quick, the best moisturizer is going to depend on you. Because if I got oily skin, would I want an oily moisturizer? I would want one that wouldn't be as oily. And if I got real dry skin, then I would need an oilier. So grapeseed might be better. Coconut oil might dry up too fast for certain skin. So it's nothing. That's one of those things where you never be like, all you need is, you know what I'm saying? Just one thing is for, it's never one thing for everybody. It just don't.
That's why I infuse oils with hemp flower and cannabis flower. I use it every day on my skin. Now, cannabis flower, that's not legal. Any part of cannabis, like in certain places, right?
In certain places. Now, that's a good question because I get confused about the flower versus processing it.
Mm-hmm.
But most places you can't grow cannabis. You can grow hemp. That's different. So, but this person probably over there in Central America with Yapu.
No, this Nathaniel Turner. He might be in Chi-Town because Chi-Town we can have, cannabis. Now they couldn't do that when I was living there, but I didn't smoke anyway. But I probably would have got into edibles early if they had been legal when I was there.
I know.
But now that's interesting. Oils infused with cannabis, it's probably good. And definitely it can for pain.
Oh, for pain and for skin. Cannabis is good for your skin. It has a lot of health.
The CBD, in it, and the THC. So
and hemp is good. I use coconut oil just to pull. So I use coconut oil for oil pulling. That's kind of You can Google what oil pulling is. I don't like to give the explain everything to intelligent folks, and I ain't gonna let y'all use my mind when you can go out and Google. So Google oil pulling is a.
And while you Google it, say red blood, bad blood. Then you know whether you should just go and turn the internet off. Cause
yes, sir. Okay.
Now, Yapo said, here we make sure we always have beans, brown rice, tomatoes, onions, and for me, broccoli. We have nothing else. We make sure we have those items, and those are good items to have.
I would tell
survival too.
Yeah, dealing with survival, dealing with the winter. Roots are very good things to have because they keep longer than most things. You know, a lot of people don't know, like sweet potatoes. I don't do regular potatoes. No one of us should really. But yams and sweet potatoes, they keep for over a year. One of the secrets
is y'all have good lighting, good illumination items, flashlights, things of that nature.
Always, man. I keep
power go. So last night I was writing, and the doggone power just went.
Yeah, here too.
It went for like a minute, then came back on. So just make sure it could have been longer. Some places it is down.
Thank you, Baba. I want to send a shout out to everybody that's dealing with power outages. My whole community in Rock Hill community, Warner Hills, is without power. Check on the elderly, people with small babies in those areas. If you can help, if you have a place, if you know that people in there, call your family, friends, see if they can come stay over. Y'all know where I'm from, so if you're from where I'm from and you have a power outage and you know me, and you don't have a place to go and you are freezing, hit me up and I'll see if I know someone who does have power in the same area that might be willing to let you come and chill. I'm from a small town, so chances are that person to know that person, and through me, like, well, if they know they cool with you, I'll mess with them. So it might be one of them type of situations. If I can help you out, I would definitely do so. So
if you need to heat your room, like we said earlier, if you can get out, get some tea lights.
Yes.
Hopefully, if you can't, hopefully you have some kind of candles.
Yes.
Put them inside of a can or whatever, and put holes in that can. Large holes. About that big, so it radiates. Also, so it doesn't fall over and set nothing on fire. Just put it inside.
Hey, you do about 4 of those, it'll heat up a big room.
Yes.
No problem. Just keep your doors closed.
Yes.
Heat up a big room.
Doors closed, and if you got towels, put them. If you got space up in the door, put them.
Yes.
At the bottom.
That is too. And you can go to Home Depot, maybe not today, but you can get those strips. I got one. They go right at the bottom of your door. That little extra flap, so no wind is getting through there. I had to get one because you could see in the daytime that little light under the door where that area is. Oh man, I can't stand it. Right now, it's like
that I know that when I moved down here, all the doors are like that.
Yeah.
When now in Chicago, we all have what's called woodwork on the floor. It's like a little hump that block, because of course it gets so cold there, and so hot. You got to keep in the air or the heat.
Well, I got the lump installed, but the house so old, the foundation, the wood by the frame just sinks down, so it don't even matter that I got the little lump.
Wow.
Yeah. But anyway, hey man, we appreciate y'all. This is the end of the year. We're not gonna see y'all the next year, man.
Yeah. So be safe. Looking into 2023, we got things that we're going to do, and we were going to discuss that, but for time's sake, this was important to deal with the health and the warmth and everything. But we plan on bringing more guests and things of that nature for 2023.
I think this maybe the first show we talk about what our plans are for the year.
Yeah,
we do that. Exactly. Maybe add that on there.
And so whatever your plans are, may they come into fruition. May you be blessed with happiness and ever increasing success during this time, this break time, and during 2023. May it definitely be better than 2022.
Right. And may you not think you got away, because we ain't forget about the tool thing. We're gonna go ahead and let y'all slide, and we're gonna start the year right, because the new year everyone will have their tools present at the blaze.
And if shit breaks down in your city right now, there's places without power and stuff. If you ain't got no tools in your home, you're at a deficit. Get you some tools. You probably can't just drive out right now and get none. And maybe you can. If you can, get you a tool, a knife, a machete, a firearm, something.
Look, it's
protect
coming.
You and yours, if you can. But mainly, make sure you're safe, warm, you and your family warm, because if you get cold, this brain ain't moving like it should, it ain't responding like it should. So having a tool in your hand, it may be useless anyway. And test yourself. Even when you go to buy the tool, say good blood, bad blood, good blood, bad blood. So red blood, bad blood. Excuse me, red blood, bad blood, red blood, bad blood.
Thank you, Big Till.
If you can't say it multiple times, just gonna put the tool back in the.
They ain't the right tool for you. They ain't the right
tool for you.
Hey, man, we really appreciate y'all, man, helping us grow, bearing with us through our growing pains. So we just appreciate y'all staying with us.
And yes, Big Till, you enjoy you and yours as well. All of y'all enjoy your families during this time. Love them. Stay safe. Stay black, or whatever it is that you may be. Peace.
Peace on Maniki. Everybody say bye on Maniki.
And yes, peace on Maniki. May y'all be successful and safe.
May you continue saving the children.
Right.